I used to bet on UFC.
Really?
Even when I was commentating, I bet on it early on. And I'm like, this is probably not legal. Some lines that were so bad that I had to gamble on them. So one of my business partner for On It, Aubrey, he would come to a lot of the fights, and I would give him, he would gamble. So when I stopped gambling, I would just say bet, and we were at like 84% success rate. It was so crazy because I was talking, there was these guys that were coming from Japan, and the matchmakers might have known about them, but the bookmakers didn't.
Wow.
So they had lines like totally off. Like they had guys who were like even money that were a fucking steal. And so there was certain fights I would go, I don't know about that one, but that one, bet the fucking house on the Brazilian guy.
Wow.
And we would do this, and it was a crazy success rate. To understand fighting and to understand the lines, like you got to watch this guy's whole fucking career.
Yeah.
You got to watch 10, 15 fights. You got to watch him fight against wrestlers, fight against strikers. What happens when he gets tired? What happens if he gets into the third round? You know, does he quit if he starts getting dumb? Some guys are very good as the hammer, but not so good as the nail.
Right.
Some guys don't bounce back. They are just front runners, and if they front run, they can roll over everybody. But as soon as a fight gets rough, their confidence shatters and they fall off. And so you got to know like what kind of scenarios this guy's been in. And so it takes a lot of information.
And you have that information.
Yeah, I've got that information. For it to be something that really affects you, it's got to be a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so once you start making like $5-10 grand a weekend, and then you put $1,000 on a game, you're like, ooh. And then you're like, well, that was exciting. Well, but what about 2,500?
Yeah.